Hey guys, and welcome back to another video by myself, Zagreus. Now, you're probably expecting me to be sitting on the bed, considering this is just a normal vlog video, but no, I am not. I'm sitting in a little cubbyhole that myself and my girlfriend put together in our bedroom, which makes life just so much easier, because now we have a sofa to sit on. So this is her streaming corner. The second question you're probably asking is about the hair. Yes, I am grey now. I am grey. I was blonde, and then I'd never dyed my hair before, so we thought, while we're in the middle of lockdown, let's dye my hair. So we dyed it, and I've got a lovely, lovely grey colour. It was a lot darker than this, but with several washes, it's kind of obviously dyed down. So, speaking of lockdown, I thought I would do a quick video, a quick update with what's going on, and then this is a video to let you know some suggestions that I have for things that would be quite fun to watch or to read during your lockdown experience. Now, I understand that we are potentially coming out of lockdown, but just in case we decide to throw ourselves back into it, here's a couple of things that may help that time fly. Just before I get into that, update on Shattered Universe. It is coming. I have 5 chapters written. I have all 5 of them recorded. It's just a case of me getting off my lazy ass and editing them together. And then I have a couple of other videos in the making. I've just been a little bit lazy with my time management. So, that's all the update that I can give you. So let's dive into my lockdown recommendations. Now, these are all just my own personal preference of things that I've watched in the past or I'm currently watching. I was going to do like top 5, but then I've had like a couple of other ideas in the back of my head. So I'll also do suggest a couple of games to potentially play as well if you have a PlayStation or if you have an Xbox 360. So PlayStation 4, I should say. So I'm going to start off with things to watch. So kind of like in the lowest tier place would be Final Space. Now, I know Final Space isn't particularly, the greatest or the best cartoon out there, considering the fact that it's fighting against Rick and Morty, but it's a Netflix original. It was designed and created, I think, by a YouTuber, and obviously Netflix picked it up, and it's quite funny. It's a bit on the nose, it's a bit silly, it's a bit stupid, but it's actually really entertaining to watch. So there's 2 series on Netflix. I think there's 10 episodes in the first series and about 13 in the second. You've got about 26 20-minute long episodes to watch, so that should do you perfectly fine. The second recommendation I have is also a Netflix thing. I do apologise. I'm sure you can probably find them elsewhere if you wanted to, which I'm not condoning. But you probably could, or I'm giving you the information for things that you can go out there and watch. I'm not telling you how to watch them. So the second thing is iZombie. Now, this is probably something that some people know about and then some people won't know about. It's been around, I think, for about 5 years now. I think it ended last year. And it's a TV show about a zombie detective. It's actually a lot better than it sounds. The story does get quite dark and quite deep. We're on the 4th series at the moment. There's 5 of them. And the 4th series has hit the ground running. The first 3 series kind of had like a little bit of a build until you got to like the last half kind of situation and all that kind of stuff. But this has kind of gone straight in with we're in trouble kind of thing. So it's been quite fun to watch. Most of those series have 13 parts, whereas I think it's the second series has 19. So there's quite a fair amount of episodes to watch, and they're about 45 minutes long each. So I highly recommend that. Also on Netflix, I would also recommend watching The Witcher. If you've played the game, or even if you haven't played the game, I really do recommend watching it. It's quite interesting. It's got Henry Cavill in it, which you can't go wrong with. The only thing is, it is an 18+, so if you're younger than the age of 18, do not watch it. Unless you've got parental guidance or parental permission. There you go. So those are the 3 on Netflix. Other TV shows that I would recommend watching would also be, we're going to hit at the 80s here. We're going to hit at kind of like the pinnacle of the 80s TV show drama. We're going to be hitting it at what made the 80s, or at least what my idea of what makes up the 80s, and that is both the A-Team and Knight Rider. Now, if you're not sure what those are, Knight Rider is a TV show about this man who works for a corporation called Flag, and he has an amazing talking car that can jump and spin, and it sounds childish, but it's actually really, really good. And the A-Team is about these 4 wanted military commandos that got framed for a crime that they didn't commit, and while they're out running the police, they're also helping people out with their day-to-day lives. So that's quite a fun one to watch. There's 5 series for the A-Team, and then there are 4 series for the Knight Rider. They all have, I think, about 26 episodes in their series, and they're all about an hour long, so you've got plenty of material that I highly, highly recommend them. And the last TV show that I'm going to recommend is Life on Mars. Now, there's only 2 series of this, but it does feature John Sim. It's about this detective that gets stuck in the 70s, and it's a fantastic series. I highly recommend watching it. So those are the 5 shows that I would recommend. Movie-wise, there's not really too many movies that I can recommend, so I'm going to recommend some. I'm going to recommend 2 outside of my normal Star Trek, Star Wars and Doctor Who-esque kind of things. Movies that I would recommend. The first one is Rocky. Now, if you've never seen Rocky, I would recommend it. I mean, I'm not a personal boxer fan myself, but I would certainly kind of consider it to be one of those films that you have to watch if you're a fan of the 80s, and it started off Sylvester Stallone's career. So you can't go wrong with that. There's like 6 of them, and then did like 2 Creed ones with thingy's son. I can't remember his name. That's bad. Creed. Apollo Creed. It's in the name. They did 2 films with Creed's son. I think they're doing a 3rd one as well, but it's still got Rocky in it. So there's 6 Rocky films and 2 Creed films. I've yet to see the Creed films, but I highly recommend watching the first Rocky film, and if you get into it, watching the rest of them. They're good fun, and they've got a nice underlying 80s soundtrack, which is quite fun to listen to. And then the second 80s film I would suggest is The Terminator, which we've probably all seen The Terminator, but in case you haven't, go and give it a watch. It's actually a really dark, dingy, but awesome film to watch and to enjoy. Outside of those 2, I'm going to give 2 other recommendations. One, The Breakfast Club, another staple 80s film, one of the best films I've ever watched, and probably a film I would consider one of my favourites. And then the next film, I'm not usually into these kind of films, but I watched it and it was definitely one of my favourites, and that is Jersey Boys. Now, this is my girlfriend's favourite film, so I'm not just saying this because I have to. It is genuinely one of the best films that I've ever watched. Now, I'm not a person that watches films that has singing in it, because I can't be fucked with that. Mamma Mia, nah, get out. I can't be doing all that. But Jersey Boys was a really, really good film, so I highly recommend that one. So those are the 4 films and the 4 or 5 TV programs that I recommend. Game-wise, if you have a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox 3 or an Xbox One, I would recommend The Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition. I've been playing through that beside my girlfriend, and it is one of the best games I've ever played. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Apologies for the jump cut. The camera only records in 12-minute cycles. So yes, I would highly recommend playing The Witcher, especially if you're going to watch it as well. It's a really good TV series to get into. It's a very good game series to get into, but also a good TV series as well. Other game-wise, I would suggest Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Both still fantastic games and still really fun to play, and if you have all the zombies DLCs, then you can have hours of fun with them. I played them with my best mate Douglas and with my brother, and you can still have a laugh even at the age of like 21, 22, 23. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend the zombies from Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3. I would also recommend playing Fallout 4. Now, as you can tell, my girlfriend is a big fan of Fallout, and she did get me into it, but I used to play Fallout New Vegas on the PC. Now, I had the Doctor Who mod for it. I still do have the Doctor Who mod for it, but after playing Fallout 4 normally, I've actually grown quite hooked to it. So I would recommend playing that. And I think I would also I know it kind of goes against the rules, but I would also suggest playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, the EA version, if you have it on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, because it is fantastic. They finished it, they're no longer doing updates for it, but it's still one of the best games I've played in a long time. They've really pulled that game back from the dirt that it was stuck in, so 100% recommend that to play. So I think that's it, actually. I was going to recommend books, but I only really read Star Trek and Doctor Who and Star Wars books, so I'm not going to recommend anything like that, because that would just be, you know, boring to people that haven't. And this is just a generic kind of suggestion for the lockdown. I will do another video at some point on my Doctor Who books and suggest from the ones that I've got which ones I think would be a good read. And yeah, that's it. That's my lockdown recommendations, steering as clear as I can from Doctor Who, Star Wars or Star Trek. Because without a shadow of a doubt, I'd recommend watching all three of them first. Yeah, just do that first. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope this has given you some things to watch during the lockdown, and even if we're out of lockdown by the time you watch this video, it gives you some recommendations of things to actually start watching that might be entertaining. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.